1024. मस्ती में रहने का new mantra I have found. बजने दे rocking गाने, groove to the brand new sound. गुनगुनाओ, मुस्कुराओ, इसकी धुन से धुन मिलाओ. सुनो, 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 1024 सुनो.
This is a repeat broadcast of India Matters. For questions and feedback, mail gopika@suno1024.com.
India Matters, the weekly show presented by the Consulate General of India in Dubai.
गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीवन ट्यून इनटू सुनो 1024. मेरा नाम है गोपिका. यहाँ पर शुरू हो चुका है इंडिया मैटर्स एंड आज जो हमारे गेस्ट है, देयर आर 2 people who are going to get all our blood pumping and our heartbeats racing and a lot of good things happening to our bodies. Let me introduce the guests this evening. I have Mr. Abhijit Shome and Mr. Mike Lobo. Both of them are Dubai-based veteran marathon runners. And sabko pata hi hai, health is wealth. So we're going to find out all about what makes them put on their running shoes early morning on a Friday jab baki sab log so rahe hote hain. So welcome both of you to Suno 1024.
Thank you for having us on the show, Gopika. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm sure my friend Abhijit and Ashok also are really looking forward to the next hour with you.
Definitely. अगर आपको भी इनसे कोई सवाल पूछने हैं about running, remember they're champions, they're experts, they've been doing this for a really long time. So you can send us a text on 3536 or leave a comment on our Facebook page. And as usual, हम इनसे बात करें. उससे पहले, here's a quick look at some of the things that weren't covered in the news in the local media.
In the news this week.
The expenditure in the road sector during the 12th five-year plan from April 2012 is expected to be $64.50 billion. Indian Oil Corporation plans to invest $1.56 billion by 2015 to expand its pipeline network from 10,900 kilometers to 15,000 kilometers. The airport retail business in India has topped $1 billion in revenue during 2011 and is growing 17 to 18% annually, according to the consulting firm Aspic Projects. 11 million tons were added by the Mangalore Port Trust to its capacity in the last 5 years.
Indian Books of the Week.
I know it's a little contrary to talk about sitting down and reading when I have 2 runners in the studio, but here are a list of the top 4 Indian books of the week. The first one on our fiction list this week is one called Habit of Love. This one by Namita Gokhale. The Habit of Love is a collection of stories about the inner lives of women. Some of these women inhabit the ancient past, some the present day, and they all share whimsical humor when they speak of themselves. Delicately poised between irony and grief, The Habit of Love is elegant, acute, and melancholic. Grandma's Bag of Stories. This one is by Sudha Murthy. In this book, a grandma tells her stories over long summer holidays and nights to 7 children as they enjoy their life in a little town. From her bag emerges tales of knights and cheats, monkeys and mice, bears and gods. The stories entertain, educate, and provide hours of enjoyment to them. In the non-fiction list, first one up is Offshore, How India Got Back on the Global Business Map. This one by Gaurav Rastogi and Basab Pradhan. BPOs and call centers are the workplace for more than 2 million young Indians today. The offshore delivery model, which has effectively put India back on the international business map. This book reveals the inner workings of the business with fascinating stories and anecdotes. The next one up is Water, Asia's New Battleground. This one by Brahma Chileni. This book reveals the major challenges that Asian countries are facing on the waterfront and explains how they could be overcome through institutional water sharing arrangements and the legal framework that strike a balance between the rules and responsibilities over the shared water resources. Okay.
Indian Books of the Week.
And now back to our guests this evening. Let's get to know them a little bit before we ask them questions about what inspires them. Sir, could you start a little about telling us a little about where you're from and a little about your early years?
Yeah, I was born in Tea Garden, Labok, and my maternal uncle was a manager there, and since then I was always on the move. Like my father being a civil engineer in PWD, so we were moving from
place to place
in remote part of Assam.
Okay.
Northeast of Assam, Northeast India. After high school, I moved for my engineering to Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Regional Engineering College, Trichy. And there I came across the campus full of students from all over India. It was sort of a mini India. And there I really feel that what India can offer, like, we are full of life, with different culture and different... all diversity.
It was a good amalgamation of people from around the country.
Right. And that's how my early days. And then from job, like I moved all over India as well. I started my career in Himachal.
Okay.
With Associated Cement Company. Then moved to ONGC.
What brought you to Dubai and how many years have you been here?
Yeah, since 2006 I'm coming in Dubai, but in between I was in Saudi for the project. Actually, I work with Saipem. It's a global EPC company.
Okay.
And then I follow their worldwide projects. So
you've been in Dubai for the past say about 6 years now.
Although 1.5 years I was in Saudi Saudi to follow Aramco projects.
Okay.
But yes, since 2006
you've been here.
I've been
What
here.
about you, Mr. Lubo? How long have you been in Dubai? And tell us a little about your early years.
I was born in Goa.
Okay.
Quite some time ago. I guess I'd have to tell you how old I am. In 1952, and my father moved to the Middle East. He was a petrochemist, so he worked for one of the oil refineries here. And at that time, we moved to a small mining town in the south of India. It was called the Kola Goldfields. I spent a few years in school there, and then moved to Bangalore, where I've spent the best years of my life. That's where I developed a liking for running. I went to school and college and university there, got my first job, and then came to the Middle East. I've been here. I've been in Dubai since the 22nd of November 1984. So
wow, you even remember the date when you got here.
Yeah, I came in on a flight on an airline that unfortunately is flown into history, but it was called a Dreamliner at that time. Some people, I'm sure your listeners will know which carrier I'm referring to.
Right. How, what was your inspiration for long distance running? And you said you started running when you were in Bangalore. So how when did you get started?
Actually, there's a little bit of a funny story to how the running started. When the place that I lived in before moving to Bangalore, we used to have people coming home who would deliver clothes, the laundry that you sent to be laundered, or the dobias,
Okay.
And they had donkeys. There's a very funny thing about the donkey.
Okay.
It never really does what you want it to do. So I used to try and jump on them, and they were not carrying bundles of clothes to be washed. And you try chasing a donkey. If it doesn't want you to catch it, it's very difficult to get one.
Okay.
So I managed to catch one or two, and that's probably where the running started.
This is really interesting. I mean, the inspiration is, and what got you actually running?
Okay, when I was when I was in college, I saw a movie about 4 marathon runners.
Okay,
and one of them, they were not, they were very capable, obviously, but they didn't have all the facilities that runners have today. And the determination and the courage of those runners to get to represent their countries in those Olympic teams was what really got me fired.
That is what got you inspired into doing that. What about you, Mr. Shome? When did you start running, and what inspired you to get into long distance running?
Yeah, I was not a couch potato, but then I was not very active as well. And I was in Bombay. In 2004, actually, Mumbai Marathon started. Yeah.
Yes.
So first year I missed the registration because that was my target was only Dream Run that time, and it was full. But then next year, 2005, my friends pushed me to, though I wanted to do dream run, but then they pushed me to half marathon, and that's where all started. Like,
So how many kilometers is the half marathon?
half marathon is 21.0989.
Oh my god, that's a half marathon.
And
Imagine the full one.
and that was like with all difficulties. Only I made sure that I don't stop. Having in Bombay is one of the toughest course. Like you have Pedder Road, and then you have to cross twice. So I could do it in 2 hours 21 minutes, and that is how I thought like it's possible. Yeah. So I became a weekend runners. And then I left ONGC and moved to Saipem, and then I came to Dubai. And Dubai, initial days, I was finding very difficult. Like I stay without family because my children are studying in Bombay. They're high school, and then I find very difficult in weekends. Then I suddenly bump into this Dubai. I mean, the running groups. They start running with a group. And the Friday became the best days,
Of your week, yeah.
which used to be my weakness, like how to spend the Friday, like.
Right.
So that's how now there's no looking back after that. Like I'm totally into it, and my family has to really now accept me as I am now.
No, and it's a good thing, right? So I'm sure they're also inspired. That you've taken up something so healthy.
Yeah, I don't
as
know.
well.
Like I never asked my son, like who is writing class 12 this year. I never said that you go and run. All the time I was telling him, okay, study. But now for last 2 years, he's getting
inspired by you.
Yeah, in school all championship, he's getting quite a few medals.
Awesome,
in track and field. Yeah.
Awesome. What about you? Luba, when did you start running in marathons? Which is your first marathon, if you remember?
Surprisingly, my first marathon was just before I turned 50. I started running the marathon. The first Dubai marathon I did was in 2003.
Okay.
And I've been running marathons ever since. Last Friday, I finished my 13th marathon.
13th marathon.
Yeah, that's right. It was the 10th consecutive Dubai marathon, but I've done 3 marathons outside of Dubai.
Wow.
And 13 may be an unlucky number for many, but it was a lucky one for me. I got my best timing ever in the marathon.
Okay.
I finished just before the 4-hour barrier came down and got in under 4 hours at 3 hours, 59 minutes and 46 seconds.
Oh, wow. That's like 14 seconds and then 4 hours would be up.
That's right.
So how many kilometers did you do in 4 hours?
42.195 is the standard marathon.
Oh my God. I'm sure a lot of people driving from here to Sharjah will be able to do the same if there's a lot of traffic while they're driving. Do remember that I am in conversation with Mr. Abhijit Shome and Mr. Mike Lobo. Both of them are marathon runners. If you've always been interested in running but have questions about how to get started and how to overcome the, oh my God, I want to sleep for another 5 minutes syndrome, then do text us your questions on 3536. And as usual, I have one question that could win you movie tickets. Well, Ismail, question is this. Who is the only Indian to have won a marathon gold in the Asian Games? If you know the answer to that one, apne naam ke saath, send me a text on 3536. I have a little hint also to give you, that it was during the first Asian Games that this person won the gold. So if you know the answer to that, like I said, 3536 should, win you 4 movie tickets courtesy Al Mansoor Video. Okay, let's find out a little more, about, both of you have been talking about also joining running groups in Dubai, and both of you are a part of the Dubai Creek Striders. Tell us a little about that, sir.
I've been running with the Dubai Creek Striders since 2002. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing running club. There were very few Indians when it started. There was myself and 1 or 2 before me.
Okay.
Is it okay to mention names?
Yeah, please do.
All right. There used to be Satya, who's still around, and Rajesh, who doesn't run with us anymore, but he still comes and cheers us at the marathons. We find him somewhere among the spectators. The amount of Indians, I'm very pleased to say, is growing every Friday. We see more and more, and even today there were some more new Indian runners. So that's a very hopeful sign for us.
Okay. You all also organized the Independence Run, this August. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, this Indian Independence Day run is always that day is always special to me. Like, so I have been running wherever I am in whichever part of the world. Like, I am running on 15th August. So on one of these Friday runs, after the run, like we all got together and discussed like how to celebrate Indian Independence Day. Then we thought, okay, if we do it in Dubai, it should be somewhere where Dubai connects to like India.
Yes.
So we thought we'll start from the consulate gate.
Of course.
So in case we are on that area, we should always invite Consular General. That's how we approached Consular General, and the response we got from Consular General for that run. And I think this is a start. Like we are going to have it every year on year, and then concept was that we start coinciding 12 at night at India, so 10:30 here, and we finish it by midnight in Dubai. So it is midnight in India to midnight
in Dubai.
So it is all freedom at midnight, and August is one of the toughest day for running, and we did it, and I think that's how we got close to that freedom fighters who brought the independence to us. Like, so, and we did this run without any aid stations or any. We made all of us got together and had a full our water stations were all like we got hold of customs their gates, like we kept some waters there, and then after Sindaga tunnel, the security we kept
some water there. Yeah,
we use all the available resources to support us, and we wanted all our runners, everybody should be running, not helping, supporting, like
Of course.
Actually, it was a great initiative, and I think I can cover some of the background to it with Abhijit is not brought up yet.
Right.
I think first of all we need to thank Himanshu and Surendu for getting the Consulate General involved and getting us the permission to have this run.
Yeah.
Just before the run, I think a few days, we had a trial run, which 4 or 5 of us did, and to see how it would work out when we had the actual run.
I'm really amazed that, y'all are talking about running 10 kilometers, like you talk about going to the grocery store and shopping. For me, 10 kilometers is quite, a long distance. So you say, it was just a trial run, and oh my God, that's also 10 kilometers. So, yes, sir, please.
But the strange thing about runners and running is it's so addictive. Once you get started, it's very difficult to stop. And
this kilometer is just a number. Like for us, running is like, we catch up each other, like what we miss out on the weekends, weekdays, we catch up on weekends.
Weekends.
So our, we, in case we miss Friday runs, it means like we miss what happened this week. So it is like, visiting our friends, like instead of in the, on the, the homes, we are visiting
them.
Yeah, visiting the Dubai roads and chit-chatting and enjoying the lovely things that Dubai has to offer.
So that I guess is also another factor that keeps you all motivated, being able to share some kind of an interest with your friends. In fact, Malini has asked us the exact same question on Facebook. She said, of course, what inspired you to start running, but what keeps you motivated to keep doing it? Because a lot of people, both of you have other careers that y'all are taking care of. Y'all also have families to take care of. Friday morning is something that sees most of the people curled up in bed or just lazing around. So what motivates y'all to wake up as early as y'all do and actually meet there?
Is I think the motivation part, like the air we breathe early in the morning, I think nobody can relate to that. Now I think I can make a difference. The air I breathe the other time and in the morning, and the sun and the friends and and then we also register for some big ones, like all over the world. Like we look forward to Dubai Marathon. Some of us, myself, I have been running for Mumbai Marathon for last 9 years, and I don't want to miss out any year.
Of course.
Some of us wants to go to Athens. So it is
you all
like
get together and make
we
other
get
plans
together
as well.
and we help each other. Like I may not be registered for Athens or Comrade, But then I know my friends have been registered for it, so I have to give a support to him. So that's how, like, it's all happens.
Of course. What time do you all meet? In case anyone tuned in is interested, they want to join in, they want to, meet you guys on Friday, tell us where you start and what time.
We start near the convention gate, just opposite the Novotel.
Okay.
It's the trade center area.
Okay.
And we run all over Dubai.
Okay.
It depends on the distances, generally depend on the weather, and so does the start time.
Of course.
In winter, we do longer distances, so we start earlier.
Okay.
And it's usually around 6 o'clock or sometimes 5:30.
Okay, so if someone does want to meet you guys next Friday, they should just be there at the gate, and then you can figure out, what time you guys are going to start.
But there's a word of caution that we'd like to pass on to listeners here. It's if you haven't been running before, then you shouldn't be trying long distances to start off with. So there are many running. We're fortunate in Dubai to have several running groups, and you have options of running different distances. You can do a Saturday evening run at Safar Park for either 3.5 or 7.5 kilometers with Dubai Road Runners. You can do runs around the Mushrif Park
on Mondays,
on Monday evenings.
Midif Milers.
And people who've gone to a level where they like to do longer distances can start with the striders. And even among the striders, you've got different running groups. You have people who've just started or who can do 10 kilometers and more. And then you've got people who've done several marathons, or about 3 or 4 groups within the striders who all start at the same time but go in different directions, because it's safer to run in smaller groups than a whole lot of people running together.
And then who are serious runners, who wants to sprint, who wants to do a short distance on a track and field, we have Abras, Abras generally meet at Dubai American Academy.
So lots of different options available for people.
Options, yeah.
I would say all different points in their running career, so to speak.
True.
For someone just starting out, they can meet up at Safar Park
on Saturday evenings at 6:30.
Perfect. So, we're going to come back and find out about, I guess, a lot of other things that you need to keep in mind before you start running, or for people who want to maybe improve their stamina. We're also going to chat with someone who ran his first marathon this week, so that's definitely going to be very, very interesting. Sir, would you like to listen to a song at this point?
Can we have Chalte Chalte, please?
I wish it could also be Dorte Dorte when we're talking about, but instead of running, we can listen to that one, definitely.
Sure.
Any dedications to anyone?
To my family and all my running friends in the Dubai Creek Striders and the Dubai Road Runners.
Definitely. Okay, coming up right next is Chalte Chalte right here on Suno. Don't forget, if you want to ask them any questions about running, about what kind of shoes, how to take care of your diet, they're experts. You will not get this advice anywhere else. The number to remember is 3536. Also, if you want to win yourselves movie tickets courtesy Al Mansoor Video, all you need to do is answer a very simple question. Who is the only Indian to have won a marathon gold in the Asian Games? While you think about that one, coming up right next is Chalte Chalte.
चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। रोते हंसते बस यूं ही तुम गुनगुनाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। प्यार करते करते हम तुम कहीं खो जाएंगे इन्हीं बहारों के आंचल में थक के सो जाएंगे। प्यार करते करते हम तुम कहीं खो जाएंगे इन्हीं बहारों के आंचल में थक के सो जाएंगे। सपनों को फिर भी तुम यूं ही सजाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। बीच राह में दिलबर बिछड़ जाए कहीं हम अगर, और सुनी सी लगे तुम्हें जीवन की ये डगर। बीच राह में दिलबर बिछड़ जाए कहीं हम अगर, और सुनी सी लगे तुम्हें जीवन की ये डगर। हम लौट आएंगे तुम यूं ही बुलाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। रोते हंसते बस यूं ही तुम गुनगुनाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना।
This is a repeat broadcast of India Matters. For questions and feedback, mail gopika@suno1024.com.
India Matters, the weekly show presented by the Consulate General of India in Dubai.
India Matters चल रहा है on SUNO 1024. मैं हूँ गोपिका and I am in conversation with Mr. Abhijit Shome and Mr. Mike Lobo. Both of them Dubai-based marathon runners and very, very passionate about running. And we're going to ask them a lot about how can one actually train, how can one get started into long distance running. But I also have a very important announcement before that. The Great Indian Run 2012 is going to take place on Friday, the 10th of Feb. They're going to start running at 7 a.m. This is going to happen at the Mamzar Beach Road. So it's going to be a 4.5 kilometer run, and all proceeds are going to go to the Dubai Foundation for Women and Children. They don't really need anyone to register. You can just go there and get started. But if you do have any inquiries, please call them on 05 6154 770. And एक और announcement है. We're talking about a person who won a gold medal in the marathon category, the Asian Games. You need to tell me the name of the only Indian who has won it so far. And remember, this was in the Asian Games, the first Asian Games that happened in Delhi. So if you know the answer to that one, 3536 with your names. Okay, let's find out a little more about what kind of say training would you need, or in terms of what you need to take care of in about your food when you want to start long distance running.
Well, the first thing you need to do is get a proper training program in place, because doing the marathon is, most people seem to underestimate the difficulty of the task. You nearly need to train all year round. What I would think that is easily available in most Indian diets, the carbohydrates that you need to run in rice and in roti and dal, potatoes, beetroot, these things will help.
Okay.
People who live in coastal areas are used to eating fish, so a little bit of protein also. And you need to get a lot of rest, especially before you do your long runs, which may not make you very popular with your friends and family on party nights, because we generally run on Fridays, and Thursday night is the time when runners really need to get as much rest as they can before they run the next morning.
Of course.
For build up to marathon, like it is more of a carbohydrates. So more complexes is better for you. Like it will store glycogen level in your body.
Okay.
So it's like, you can convert to, for Indian context, like instead of white rice, move to brown rice. Brown rice for the time being. Brown bread, anyways, now it's very common. And also sweet potatoes, which are complex. Also, people have to take care of their iron count. Like you will be losing a lot of blood,
Oh, okay.
Because Dubai is not that, weather is not that friendly, because you lose a lot of, you perspire a lot.
Quite a bit, that's true.
So it takes a lot of your iron count. So people have to take like beetroots, things like that.
Okay. So, that's why he was mentioning beetroot earlier, because you need to take care of your hemoglobin levels as well.
But bring colors to your food, like, to take care of your micronutrients.
Okay.
So more colorful is like, the main food is like carbohydrates and protein, and then other colors will just let you maintain the the look. Like you must be looking a lot of looks, because because the marathon running takes care damages, but then if you just and don't underestimate the sleep part.
You need to get about 8 hours of sleep.
8 hours at least twice a week. Yeah.
Okay.
At least twice a week, and hard training should be then only you get the best benefit out of it. Like
I'm sure if you're running 20 odd kilometers every day, you're going to sleep like a log. So that I don't think sleep is going to be a problem at all.
You'd be surprised. We had one of our colleagues who did the Mumbai Marathon about 2 weeks ago. He traveled from Dubai maybe a day before or two before the marathon. He had 2 hours of sleep. He was very ill. He was under medication, and he went and did the marathon.
Oh, he still did.
He did it.
But you wouldn't recommend that anybody else does that. It's going to show where it
not to do it.
Like marathon actually initially marathon in most of us, even when we night before is a sleepless night mostly. So basically it is after you put in so much effort, you should go back and to repair mode, like you want to repair your body. So
okay, one question: how long would an average person take from someone who maybe occasionally goes for a walk, mostly is a couch potato, into preparing his mind and body to do a full marathon? On an average, how long would it take?
There are training in place, but we have a example here right in the studio. We'll hand over to Mr. Ashok, who is just with 4 months of training. He's completed.
Who finished his first marathon on Friday. Yeah, and there's nothing more thrilling than crossing the finish line to your first marathon. I am so
honored to introduce Mr. Ashok Babu, who is the CONSUL Media, and this is the first time he's on air with SUNO. Please tell us about the experience, that helped you train and the marathon, of course.
Yeah, good afternoon to all the listeners. I came here somewhere in the end of June, and as they were mentioning about the August 15th 10-kilometer run, I was in the consulate seeing Mike, Abhijit, and a whole lot of guys who were just preparing for a run in that sweltering heat. And I was really surprised, and then only knew about creek striders. And as Gopika was telling, I was like slow in those days, and then once September started, creek striders started running regularly. Then I joined the group, slowly building up the momentum. And I think, as they say, it's a mix of diet as well as first is the plan, the regular running habit which comes into it, then the diet and the sleep, the cycle has to be a little, the discipline has to come. And then once you make it regular, I think slowly increasing the distances is possible. And then I think culmination is the marathon. But
Of
there's a lot
course.
before that.
So it took you about 4 months to, to get into shape to complete the marathon.
Yes. In fact, I should say I was not targeting the marathon first of all.
Okay.
When I joined the group, it was just to keep moving, and it was more the health perspective.
Right.
And then once I started with the group, the half marathon came in December. That was itself a mental block for me. But once that was crossed, I think then the group started very high on the marathon, in the sense they told, okay, next we are going to go
Train
cross
for the-
25, then 30,
yes.
then 35.
Whoa.
I think the group the credit goes to the group. Once you get into that, as he said, it's an addiction. Then slowly you build up and the confidence level goes up, and then the culmination was marathon. I think I was really happy doing it.
Yeah, what was
It's
that
a good
experience?
addiction. Huh?
What was that experience like, your very first marathon? Was there ever a point while you were running where you thought, oh my God, I can't finish this?
I should say, first of all, to start with, I was very doubtful. In fact, it's a very interesting story that I did not register for my marathon. Somebody else did.
Okay.
They just told you're doing it. I don't know how.
Okay.
Then they were one of my friends in Creek Striders. It is Rajesh. So he told, don't worry, we all do it together. First timers together. So we had 2 or 3 veteran runners. There, Mr. Jamil and Mr. Kumar. They gave me a lot of motivation on that day. In the sense, they told, we have a pakka plan where we try to complete it comfortably. You come with us.
Okay.
So I think it was because the day before was Republic Day. So I was very busy at the consulate. The rest part was missing. So the
Yes.
next day morning, I just went to them like someone going to a doctor. So they just told me, close your eyes, follow me. So I did that, I should say. They had a very constant pace. They maintained the momentum, where to hydrate, where to slow down, where to push a bit. And I think that worked. A plan
I'm
works.
also getting inspired to start running.
Yeah, when you complete, the feeling is like, it is just, you can only experience it.
It's like you're on top of the world.
Yeah. It's a great feeling.
Brilliant. I wanted to ask both of you, we've been talking about having a training plan in place. We've spoken about diet. What about some kind of exercise? Some people believe that yoga definitely helps keep your body limber. So would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, yoga definitely. Running as such, you can do a running, but then running always is injury prone. You
Okay.
always complain of getting knee joints pain, muscular pain, and you never know on that particular day what can happen. But then my experience with yoga is I've been doing with friends of yoga.
Okay.
In Jabil Park in the morning, 5:30.
5:30.
Or if I miss it, I come in the afternoon,
Okay.
evening, 7:30.
Okay. But I think, doing yoga early in the morning is quite invigorating. So
Yes.
start with a
So,
whole lot of Surya Namaskars and that'll
yeah.
get you fit for the day.
Now what I change, what I experience is after yoga, I have more control on my mind.
Okay.
And my injury is it's little minimized, and I can foresee the injury rather than experiencing all of a sudden. I can really foresee that that I'm going to get injured, so I can take precautions, or I
Beforehand.
can strategize that. So yoga is definitely helps you to be flexible, and then your lung capacity increases. And since marathon is a mind game, doing some meditation also helps. Sometimes when I do the ultra distances, when I'm doing 90k at a stretch,
My God.
so that is 10k, 10, 12k, or I'm in the wadis alone running. So that is the time you are always introspective, and that time meditate. I mean, things like yoga helps.
Definitely helps.
It helps.
Definitely
You are
helps.
on your own. You're just.
What about spending some time at the gym? Would you recommend that people do that as well? Some kind of weight training and stuff.
It does help, but it's not absolutely necessary. There are other forms of exercise which will help. For example, swimming. It's
Okay.
non-impact, and cycling. Abhijit does a lot of cycling also.
Okay,
I used to
okay.
cycle before, but unfortunately don't cycle very much now.
Okay.
There's only so much time you can spend away
Yeah,
from
that's
home
true.
if you have your family with
That's
you.
true.
He's fortunate that he's alone here, and
No, for gymming, for me, in Dubai, if in context of Dubai, sometimes gyms are must. In the summer,
Yeah,
you
where
cannot go out,
That's true.
and that time gym will take care of you. You don't lose so much. But for me, still, in the morning, Dubai morning is wonderful, whether it is summer or winter. it has got its own, it gives every day a different look. So mornings are still till 6:30, even in the midsummer.
Yeah,
we are
it's quite
comfortable.
pleasant. It's
we are
quite pleasant.
comfortable. We are comfortable.
I had a question. A lot of there have been a lot of debates about this, whether you're running or whether you're walking. People say that you should not do that on the treadmill because that would hurt your knees. So would you recommend that, people, rather than doing either walking or running on the treadmill, they spend their time outdoors, say maybe on the concrete roads?
Actually, let me answer. This is a cardio exercise. So
Okay.
basically, we are when we do the running or walking, whatever, basic purpose is to get the oxygen demand in our body
Right.
and to put in fresh oxygen
Right.
to get the toxins out.
Okay.
So I think gym may have this problem, like the level of oxygen will be
okay.
high.
Okay.
So your muscle will be craving for oxygen.
For oxygen rather than
to burn up those lactic acid that forms in the gym. So
Correct.
you should be having, you cannot even imagine doing 42k in the gym.
Of course. I mean, obviously. you
Gym
can't.
is for treadmill in the gym is only to warm up.
Okay.
For get the blood pumped up to do the
but
upper
it's not
body
like
exercise.
it'll harm your knees or something. If you're on the treadmill.
Yeah, it is little vibration. Vibration is there. So if it depends on the make of the
treadmill. Obviously, that would make a difference.
And the postures, of course, you are following.
Very, very important there. Another very important question I want to ask both of you about shoes. I'm sure you guys go through like a lot of shoes, in the year, running 90 kilometers and 21 kilometers. What kind of shoes would you recommend, and how many pair of shoes do you guys buy in a year?
Oh, we buy too many shoes, actually.
But then we have shoes for different kind of running.
In fact, I just heard you saying before the show that you don't have any normal shoes at home, that you can wear apart from running. So.
Yes, most of the time I end up buying only the running shoes
Only
or
running
those
shoes.
colorful ones, and the one that gives me the good support, like different type of training I get.
Right.
So like shoes, the best shoes are actually barefoot.
Oh, okay. Now there's been a
But
lot
then-
of debate about that as
That,
well,
yeah,
running
yeah.
barefoot on the roads.
Running barefoot, and I've been trying for it, and I practiced for it, and last November I registered for there was an event in Bombay for barefoot promotion. Milind Suman was
Right,
he's on Vibram now,
okay.
and he ran Mumbai Marathon in Vibram this year.
Okay.
So
Vibram
he's-
is a type of shoe that is
5
closest to barefoot running.
Okay.
very
Oh,
good.
the ones that have
With
those
5 fingers.
finger things
5
that
fingers,
Correct.
that mimics the barefoot.
Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
But
yeah.
having said that, barefoot running is not for everybody.
Yeah.
You just don't go and run without footwear, without training for
Yeah,
it.
everyone tuned in, please don't suddenly tomorrow morning take your shoes off and say, okay, I heard it on India Matters, I'm going for a barefoot run. It takes a lot of practice, training.
Yeah.
Let me remind everyone that I am in conversation with Mr. Mike Lobo and Mr. Abhijit Shome. Both of them are marathon runners. You still have a little time. You can text us your questions on 3536. If you have any questions about running, what kind of shoes to keep, anything at all about taking part in the next marathon. And also, you need to tell me who is the only Indian to have won a marathon gold in the Asian Games. Remember, these were the first Asian Games. And I'm giving out movie tickets. I know it goes a little against the topic of conversation today. But, well, if you know the answer to that, your name and the answer to 3536. Okay, now, another question. I've heard of something called the post-marathon blues. What are those and how do you overcome that?
It can be
All
highs.
three of you can answer that, in fact.
It should be highs. We generally have highs, but marathon generally blues are very few cases when you have very high expectation from the run and you have put in too much of training in place, and then you didn't get the result out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
And by some unfortunate injury, that can be a blues, but it should be momentary, because just doing it and being a part of marathon is an achievement itself. Yeah,
Right.
that itself is a very positive thing. But generally marathoners get a lot of adrenaline rush and they cannot take rest, and that sometimes after marathon generally our body immunity goes low.
Okay, so you've got to be careful
You
with
should be
that.
careful before exposing yourself too much to outside world, because you will get contagious diseases. Yeah,
Very
very easily.
Okay.
Very
So let's not get the listeners confused with blues as it's a form of depression. That's
Yeah, because
definitely
that's
not
what I would think.
in the
No.
consciousness of a marathon runner.
No.
We do have disappointments. For example, the runner I just spoke about who went to Mumbai and overdid it. He also ran the Dubai Marathon 2 weeks later.
Wow.
And he's someone who does it in about 4 hours. His best time was 4 hours and 6 minutes. He took more than 5 hours to finish it because he overdid it.
Yeah, it definitely shows in your performance then, right?
The body needs some time to recover from a marathon because there's a lot of damage done to it. And
Yeah.
you're pushing it beyond the limit when you do 2 marathons in 2 weeks
In 2
without
weeks.
any rest and the right time for recovery. Take another example. We were talking about blues and disappointment. I don't think anyone could be more disappointed than the hot favorites of the last Dubai Marathon. The Kenyan runners who were supposed to come in at number 1 first, the favorite.
They've been quite popular,
He came in at number 35, so I'm
My
sure he'll be
God.
disappointed.
No, last year winner, the Barma
Martin
side,
Lale.
he dropped out at 32k.
The number
Barma
2
side.
dropped out of the marathon.
Yeah.
And we
Dropped
had
out.
fellow
Dropped
runners
out
who
of
dropped
this
out
year.
of the marathon, so it is
Was
disappointing.
highly
but
praised. It's a mind game, so you have to keep yourself more introspective. You have to take total care that you don't go into too much euphoria. How many? I mean, immaterial how many marathon you have done and how experienced you are. On that day, performance will depend on
how you're feeling on that particular day.
Yeah, and feeling will come how resting, like, you have to always keep your heart under control. You should run from your heart, not from your leg. Yeah.
Of course. I have another question. How young is too young to start? Because there are a lot of parents tuned in, and a lot of parents also believe that sometimes school neglects sports and fitness and focus only on academics. So if someone wants to start running as early as, how young is too young?
You're never too young to start running. People 5-6 years of running, and I'm sure that's when all our future athletes who want to get golds in the Olympics for India need to start running. However, there is a legal entry barrier for doing the marathon and long distance running.
Okay.
Which I think 18 years is,
18
but
years.
it was
Because
some rules are
when
meant
you're
to be
growing,
broken.
marathon is not the one to do it. Of course, you
No,
should
just
do
start
it.
running.
Start
Start running.
on
Yeah.
the track, on anywhere, but short distances, not the marathon.
Of course. We've
And
got
there's
questions.
no upper age limit for the marathon.
of course,
We've had Fauja
definitely.
Singh and some of us who had the honor to run with
He is
him.
59 and I'm waiting to be a veteran, to be more competitive.
Amazing. I've got Himanshu sending me a text. He said he would like to know about how you recover after the marathon, and also how do you see yourself performing at the RAK half marathon. So, what's your training schedule like? That's what he wants to know.
Yeah, now having done Mumbai Marathon, then Dubai Marathon, then next week I have a 72k Wadi B run.
Okay.
And then 10th and then 17th I have RAK Marathon. So it is now no more running, actually, no more training as such. It is more of a building up.
Okay.
So it's more of resting and just go short runs, 2k, 3k, just to pump your, keep your heart rate, keep you going, but no more running now. No more training now.
No more training now.
No.
But like his question says, how do you recover post-marathon? So it's not like you just give up running and turn into couch potato suddenly.
No.
You have to
Two
keep
short
active.
distance runs.
Yeah, short
and
distance.
Probably
I
have
prefer-
a day or two of rest in between. Then you do a short distance run and
Okay.
swim a little, ride a bicycle
cycle.
if you like to. Some non-impact exercises.
So keep up the physical activity and
Definitely.
keep eating healthy, because obviously you have the next one just around the corner.
Sleep well.
Get a lot of
well,
rest.
yes.
All the time.
Now, the next time, I'm feeling very lazy and don't want to get out of bed, I'm going to say that to my mom. I can't help it. I've been told that, I need to sleep well. So.
Yes.
Again, excuses. Really, I want to ask both of you, has there ever been a time when you put the snooze button on the alarm and said, I don't want to get up today on any one Friday? Has that happened to either of you?
Not after I did my first marathon.
Not after you. I believe it's this addiction that you get,
No,
while you're
it's
running.
like catching up with my
I
friends.
can see Mr. Rashuk Babu shaking his head. He says, yes, it is an
No,
addiction.
I want to catch up with my friends on Friday morning. So I don't want to miss out.
You
I
don't
don't
wanna
know
miss out
how
on
much
that.
I want to run. I'm not sure. I may
course.
drop out, but I want to meet them in the
You want to
morning.
meet them.
So much of camaraderie in the running community
Yeah,
that
I
you
can see
miss,
that here
You miss
already.
them if you don't meet them on Fridays.
Definitely. What do you do? Otherwise, how do you unwind? Because I'm sure that takes quite a physical toll. So, how do you guys take some time off? Any other hobbies?
Yeah, I love to read. I enjoy traveling. I listen
Okay.
to music, and you can still sleep after you've run.
You can still do that. That's not a problem.
For me, reading as well, and little bit of just going to the beach and just relax there.
Anyone likes watching movies over here?
Of course.
And of course, staying tuned to SUNO for all the fabulous music that we play here. When both of you talking about reading, I was thinking of that book by Murakami, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. I believe anyone who wants to take up running or wants to get inspired, that's also one of the books that y'all can read. So, what I would like to ask before we go away is any words to someone who wants to start. There's something that will inspire them to go buy a pair of shoes and start running.
Yeah, it is wonderful. Like, you can just Dubai has so many running tracks like Jabil Park, Safa Park, Mamzar Park. So people should be just out there, and whether they run, walk, they should be just there to enjoy it. And then once that becomes a habit, then he will surely develop that. He can just do a 3 minutes walk, 2 minutes run, 3 minutes walk, 2 minutes run, and then
Pace themselves out.
and that's how suddenly someday he will find that he's running marathon.
And don't let excuses like, oh, it's too hot or all that keep you away.
That is an excuse. Everybody can run regardless of the weather. We're actually blessed with running facilities in Dubai. As Abhijit said, there are so many running tracks all over the place. You run in the morning, you can actually smell the flowers and feel the air quality and hear the birds sing, and it's such an amazing experience. I'd like to quote a line from John Stanton, who writes the book on running, which is a bestseller now. He says that running, the simple act of putting one foot in front of the other is truly a life-changing experience. It all starts with those basic steps and soon becomes the adventure of a lifetime.
Oh, awesome. Now, if all this hasn't inspired people to start running, then listen to it again, because our show gets repeated on a Saturday at 12. And, I believe this is one of the sport or one of the activities that you don't need any other equipment for. It's just you and, like you said, mind control and how far you want to take it. So, thank you so much for inspiring a lot of people to run. And so you wanted to dedicate a song to your wife. Which one is it? You'd ask for Jab Koi Baat Bigar Jaye.
Yes, I want to, like, my family is finding very difficulty in accepting me in my this form. And so I want to dedicate my wife Sangamitra
How sweet.
for Jab Koi Baat, even her favorite song. This one.
And I can definitely say this also goes to running from the both of them. Because I guess when you're upset and, when you just want to work a few things out, just go for a quick run and that will clear your head out, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming to the studios of SUNO 1024. Let me tell everyone the answer. The question I've been asking is, who is the only Indian to have won a marathon gold in the Asian Games? I think thoda sa difficult question tha, because no one's got it right this time. The answer is Chhota Singh, and he won it in 1951. This was the first Asian Games. So next time, maybe someone else would probably win, 4 tickets. Don't forget, this show gets repeated at tomorrow at noon. Until next time, this is Gopika saying bye-bye. And of course, stay tuned to SUNO 1024.
जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा, ओ हमनवा। न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। हो चांदनी जब तक रात देता है हर कोई साथ, तुम मगर अंधेरों में ना छोड़ना मेरा हाथ। जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा ओ हमनवा।
जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा ओ हमनवा।
न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी में तुम्हारे सिवा, तुम देना साथ मेरा ओ हमनवा।
This is a repeat broadcast of India Matters. For questions and feedback, mail gopika@suno1024.com.